Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli waj'al li wazira min ahli Harun akhi ushdud bihi azri washriku fi amri kay nusabbihaka kaseera wa nazkuraka kaseera innaka kunta bina basira. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Welcome, dear friends. Inshallah, we will continue this section about man's happiness in this world and inshallah in the next as well that gets built, looking at what the author is sharing from the continuation of. He was saying man has been created in the most excellent of patterns, which is a verse from the Quran, right? So the creation of man and how that excellent of pattern, man can live according to that, in that excellent pattern that he is created for, he's meant to live for. And we've been going through some of the details of what the situation of man, what he finds himself as a petted child that we kind of touched upon last time, that he is in need of many things, of him being poor in his existence and his neediness to be given life, to be given the abilities to see, hear, think, reason, intelligence, everything pretty much is actually everything. Whatever we are experiencing is given to man. And just not man, basically, everything in the universe also is in need of those, whatever they are doing, are also in need for the abilities that they are being, we see them as they are operating in the universe. And the amazing thing in man is that he is able to see that within the whole universe, grasp it, understand it, see everything else, including his own existence. The whole universe is in need of an absolute source to live. So that's why we touched upon last about the universal worship that man is capable of. That's why we say in our prayers in section Fatiha, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Right? So we do kind of with the understanding that everything in the universe is in need of you, my Lord. So that is what the universal worship part was. And then we touched upon also, for example, the creator of the tomato. I took these notes before we left off because we had a break in between. So the creator of the tomato must be the creator of the whole universe. So if I look at a particular thing, whoever made that thing, or in this case, the tomato, whoever gave existence to that tomato exists within the context of the whole universe. So the creator must be the creator of the one who gave existence to the whole universe, or gives existence to the whole universe. So in a way, the whole universe is needed for that tomato to be given existence. All right, so we will continue with the fifth remark on man has been sent to this world as an official and guest. So I underlined official and guest because these are some of the roles that man has or is supposed to be, and has been given abilities of great significance So all the human qualities which we touched upon last time, all the abilities that man is given, possesses, they're meant to be used for something, right? They're not just to be, okay, my eyes are there to see, and then not, or my mouth or stomach or tongue just to taste and eat delicious food and then die. No, that's not the purpose of the tongue, to just eat delicious food and then die and then vanish into the world, into non-existence. But every ability, reasoning, intelligence is not just to make money or for my profession, but there's other purposes of all these abilities that are given to man, which are of great significance. Interesting. They are amazing. We don't want to lose any of those abilities, right? Once we start getting to a certain age, we start to see the degradation of those abilities, but we want to keep them forever, right? We want to keep although we see that we are changing continuously, but then we don't want to lose any of those abilities. So man has been entrusted with important duties in accordance with those abilities. In order to employ man in fulfilling those aims and duties, powerful encouragement and severe threats have been made. So, to bring man to the right direction, fulfilling those aims and duties, basically his honor, his position as an official and guest, man has to be reminded that, yeah, you are not here in this world forever, right? You are like a guest on a journey, and also with all the abilities, you are able to be the official representative of the whole universe in a way. All right, so the author continues, we shall here summarize the fundamentals of worship and of man's duties. So fundamentals of worship and man's duties, what are they? So this is what the author is going to summarize. All right, I don't know where that is. Okay, that's fine. Which we have explained at length elsewhere, so that the mystery of the most excellent of patterns may be understood. On coming into the universe, man has two aspects of worship. So before we go into this fundamentals of worship and man's duties, where he will speak about the two aspects of worship, the author will speak about that. Is there any comment on this first paragraph or any thoughts in terms of how the author is making the case about man and this, why is he here in this world? And to realize that he is an official and guest. So Fariha, please go ahead.
Thank you, Asim. It's interesting that you highlighted official and guest, because I was saying to myself, I can easily see or experience the guest part. I do feel like a guest in this universe. But then I was thinking, what makes me an official here? And I think the keywords here, I think you highlighted too, given by the author, about duties, worship, and of man's duties, some duties. So if I have a duty, then that would make me an official. So I think it's just figuring out what is my duty here. And then that would help me define me being an official. Yeah, just wanting to share these thoughts. And it was interesting also where also highlighted powerful encouragement and severe threats. I think that should also start making sense, because if you have some duties, like a student, if you're not doing your homework, then you get some warnings. And if you're doing good homework, then the teacher encourages you to do more and get to a step higher, if you will. So yeah, I just wanted to share these thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you for that comment. All right. Would anybody else have any other comment as well or to share? You're right about the guest part. Yes, it's easy to see that because we are continuously changing. It's easy for us to recognize that we are with those changes, especially once, if you look at our old pictures and see, oh, how did this baby come to become like this? And then school, and then college level pictures, and then post college. So it's interesting how the same person looks amazingly different, and one realizes the existence continuously changes, but you realize it in different stages or over a couple of years, although every moment one is changing. So the official, yes, although, so as you mentioned, Faria, also about why are we here in this world? One has to wonder about it in a way. That why am I given all these abilities, all these amazing tools and qualities that I find myself in? I excel in many things. I work on many things to get better in things. What's the purpose in all of them? Right? So that gives us that we have important duties, and they tie into us realizing, first of all, who we are and what the reality of this universe is. Right? So, and that brings me to, hey, as a human being, a res- I have to take my existence seriously, and I'm a responsible individual. That's why the official part comes in, that there are some important duties in my being in this world that I have to fulfill. And all those abilities are given for that reason only, to fulfill those duties. Brother Ali, please go ahead.
As you started presenting the subject, you emphasized on the importance of universal worship. We always talk about the universal worship side of our relationship with our Creator through going through the world, the universe itself, the things itself. Now, we talked about what universal worship is on many occasions, because it is such an important concept. When we understand we are here, official and guest, and we have to worship, one of his worship and contemplation in the following paragraph mentions this. But we understand worship means really obeying the commandments of God. That is worship. I think even while we are performing our prayers or fastings or giving zakat or going on Hajj, we have to remember that in their essence, we have to have the concept of official worship in our feelings, in our minds, so that this universal worship must be performed through our personal worship. It means while I am performing my prayer. So another concept in order to understand this universal worship is Feriha emphasized the importance of official and being an official here and guest, rightly underlined them. So guest side is different. Now, as far as the present moment's point is official. So this official must be given abilities of great significance. So this, through using these abilities, human beings, these official human beings, should be able to implement, practice his duty of being an official in the form of universal worship. So we have to see the parallel between the abilities, capacity of the abilities, so that we will use these abilities as officials in order to realize, practice universal worship. So I think we have to tie up abilities and the position of being an official, and then ultimate aim is to perform universal worship. I said, let me think about a simple example. Let's say there is an institution. Let's say there is a school. In the school, there is a principal. Now, principal must know each department or each section of the school. Finance matter of the school, he must know. Administrative side of it, he must know. Assistant principal's responsibility area, he must know. Teachers' duties, he must know. Even the cleaning, maintaining the school, he must know. How to communicate with the how do you say, let's say Minister of Education, he must know through this local directors of education in, for example, in New York. There must be a top man there in New York. He must know how to communicate with them, not limited to the school only. It means if he is the principal, an official, but official is a principal of the school, he must know everything in the school and related to the school and education system, so that he will fulfill a universal worship. It means really fulfill his duty as the principal of the school. Human beings are the principles of the school of the universe. So I have to know everything. So I must be given the ability to learn it, the potentiality to learn it. And also I have to know how to communicate with the owner, the chief executor of the universe. Oh, if I am required of universal worship, I must have been given a universal ability. I understand that as a human being, first of all, my capacity is unimaginably immense, huge. And also, since I am given this capacity, my responsibility must be also immense and huge. Universal capacity, universal responsibility. That is why human beings are given the spirit from God, directly from his spirit, giving the full authority to represent the worship of the or the duties of all the officials in the school system. He must have this capacity and also communicate with the chief executor of the education system of the country, Minister of Education. He must know it. It means the creator of the universe, owner of the universe. I must know how to communicate with him. So my abilities must be universal as well. That is what God doesn't say in his speech. Look, speaking to human beings, I didn't breathe into from my spirit into it, in your example, the tomato, but I breathe it into you, O man. Know that you have the universal capacity, so that you will function as an official at a universal level. This is called universal worship, communicating with the chief executor of the school of the universe. So the creator of the universe, the owner of the universe, the Rabbul Alameen. So I think our understanding of worship, ibadah, completely, radically changes from a very petty understanding of I have to perform my prayer and do some things here, rather than while I am performing my salat, my prayer, I have to know that I am performing a universal worship through these limited physical actions and recitations. My consciousness, my abilities must be comprehending the worship of the whole universe. It means worship of the each, performing their duty. Teacher is doing, janitors are doing, maintaining people, taking care of the maintenance of the building. Whatever they are doing, I must include all of them and saying and giving declaring to the chief executor in my school or the minister of education of the country, in my school, everything is done according to what you want, according to your aim of education. So I must present all the works of the officials, every being, in your example, tomato as well, everything to my creator. That means really performing the universal worship. Everybody knows that universal worship is stated, summarized in إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. All of the officials are performing their duties all together. I am the representative of them, performing their duties as you sent us the regulations how to run a school all together. Everybody is doing perfectly his mission, his duty. That understanding is really amazing. And also, we have to know how valuable beings we are, carrying the manifestation of the spirit of the creator of the universe, Rabbul Alamin. Unimaginably important point. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to realize this. Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Brother Ali. All right, so we will continue. So on coming into the universe, basically coming into the universe of man has two aspects of worship and being a worshiper of God. One is worship and contemplation in the absence of the object of worship. So the absence of the object of worship, basically looking at the work, wondering about it, seeing can these things be doing the things themselves? Because I don't see the one, when looking at the things, I don't see them having that ability to give existence to themselves. I can't see myself giving the ability to exist myself or stopping myself from changing. So definitely there must be a being who is the one responsible for all that change, and that is what the absence of the object of worship is, how I understood it. The other is worship and supplication in his presence. So basically feeling his presence, that yes, I am convinced that there must be a creator, there is my Lord, and I'm addressing him directly, talking to him directly. So the first one, which is worship and contemplation in the absence of the object of worship. Let's see how the author shares that. So it is to affirm submissively the sovereignty of dominicality, basically his lordship, his rububiyya in Arabic, his dominion, master of the dominion, owner, apparent in the universe, and to observe its perfections and virtues in wonder. So paying attention basically to the acts going on in the universe and seeing these wonderful creatures that there are, amazing things happening in the universe. And all of them are working very harmoniously in in a particular order and fashion. And they are perfect in the way they are existing, in the way they are. The cat is amazing in the way it is created, right? The, the tomato that the example used earlier is perfect in its creation. The plants, the trees, human beings, the way they are, amazing with all these abilities, are perfect in their creation. So wonder at those things. Then it is to proclaim and herald. So the next step is to proclaim and herald the unique arts, which consist of the inscriptions of the sacred divine names, and to display them to others. So here the official and duty part comes in, to proclaim and herald the unique arts, right? And to display them to others. So once I am really in wondering about the existence, the creation, the whole universe out there, and I realize, yeah, that the things don't have their ability to come and perform all these wonderful tasks. There must be the artist, the designer, the former, the shape giver, who is giving existence to each of these wonderful things that I'm interacting with. Right? So all these artistic things, arts, unique arts, each one is a work of a unique artistry in them. And all those are nothing but the inscriptions of the one who made them, this divine names, the divine qualities, not of the nature of this universe. So I should proclaim them and display them, point them out to others. Brother Ali, please go ahead.
Again, the important point is again, which is missing mostly from the lots of the believers. For example, taking a tomato and looking at it, admiring its design, color, packaging, skin, and what is in it, seeds, fleshy part. If someone says, "What are you doing?" I am worshiping God. Do you think, well, no, you didn't turn to Kaaba? This is what I mean. Oh, you are not standing up. You are just sitting, man. Maybe lying down, as the Quran says, doesn't matter. And taking the tomatoes and reflecting on it, contemplating on it. This is what we are reading here in the first aspect. In what this is the first aspect, contemplating on the tomato or anything actually, but tomato is just an example of the day-to-day. So thinking of reflecting on the tomatoes, how wonderful, how a wonderful way it has been really arranged in this one, and admiring it. That's what we are doing. I am worshiping in absence. I am worshiping in the absence of the Creator. This is important of the object of worship is ma'bud. It means the owner, the creator, the master of the universe. So contemplating in the absence of the master or owner, Rabb of the universe, that is worship. That is what we cannot really digest it easily because it is not in the culture. Just thinking on the amazing manifestation of the qualities of the Creator on the tomatoes and saying that the one who made this, as you said at the beginning, must be the one who is the one who creates, manages, takes care of, maintains the whole universe. Because the tomato it can exist only within the context of the whole order of the universe. Perfectly and harmoniously working. So this contemplation is the first degree of worship. But in the absence, in the absence of the ma'bud, the creator, we don't think that it is a worship because our understanding of the concept of worship, ibadah, is very limited, narrowed down to fiqh rules only. They are, but while we are performing these fiqh rules, we have to bear the same understanding in our mind that this is this is the result of my contemplations. If I have not really contemplated on the creation, how can I communicate with the creator of this creation? Definitely, it is the first stage. Thank you. And needed.
Inshallah, we should work on this. Thank you. Contemplation. Yep. And okay, so so proclaim and herald the arts and display to others, and then it is to weigh on the scales of perception the jewels of the Dominical names. So this is all part of contemplation as well, to weigh on the scales of perception the jewels of the all the qualities that you are observing in the tomato, for example, which are all like hidden treasures. It is to appreciatively affirm their value. So they have a value, affirm their value within with the discerning heart, like a contemplating heart, discerning heart, the one that realizes, sees what the right thing is, what the wrong thing is. So it discerns, investigative heart, or also could be used. So paying attention to the thing that we are observing, contemplating on, and seeing, relating it to who the owner or the one who owns these qualities, what is he being, what, based on whatever is being displayed, tying them up to my worship and seeing the work of my Lord. So everything is like the hidden treasures in each and every being, in each and every act in the universe. So this is going stage by stage, basically. First proclaim, see the art, then weigh on the scales, and then we'll say study. Yeah, Faria, you wanted to speak?
No, you can finish your thoughts and then I can jump in.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So you're saying the progression of from proclaim to
Yeah, so it's going stage by stage. Basically, that's how contemplation happens. It doesn't happen in a snap or quickly jumping to conclusions, but this is more on reflecting and contemplating, involving your feelings. Yep. So then it is to study and ponder over and wonder the pages of beings and leaves of the earth and sky, which are like missives of the pen of power. So all of these guys, all of the whatever we are looking at can be seen as a book by itself, which needs to be studied. Everything in the universe is a book in itself, and the pages of the different beings and the leaves of the earth and sky, which are like missives. So each one of them is like the bringing news about its Lord. So they are like messengers showing and displaying the qualities of their maker, in this case, the pen of power, in terms of the one how they are coming into existence by an absolutely powerful one. And then the next stage is through beholding admiringly the adornment and subtle arts in beings. It is to feel love for knowledge of their all beauteous creator. So getting to know this all beauteous creator, feeling that love, to get to know him, to connect with him, and to yearn to ascend to the presence of their all-perfect maker and to receive his favors. So once you there's this yearning looking for him, the absolute one, seeing him, that is the connection. And then of course, once you're connected to an absolute one, what else do you need? So stage by stage, that's how our contemplation happens. But Maria, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's connecting to these stages, and I think it's a good point to bring up that you shared these whole stages, and then pretty much what Brother Ali also highlighted. So if I'm not admiring creation, then I would not even get to its creator. So just looking at how something is created in today's example, the tomato, the color, shape, size, everything. So admiring that, then obviously the inevitable next step is what is the source of existence of this color, and more the qualities, like the intangible aspects of things, like beauty, or something, or anything that you're feeling this connection of liking it. So these feelings, you start questioning the source of existence of it. And then my initial query was the second paragraph, because it's saying it is to weigh on the scales of perception the jewels of the Dominical name. So scales of perception to me was me trying to attribute the existence of these qualities, or even in material form, like, the texture of the tomato or anything, right? If attributing it to the right source rather than to, I don't know, randomness or the object itself, like that's like it doesn't even have any weight. Like this type of logic or thinking won't even have any weight. So when I'm able to attribute the qualities to its right source of existence, then which are like the hidden treasures. So I guess when I'm able to see that the qualities point to an absolute source of existence, that's the hidden treasure of me interacting with the tomato. Otherwise, I mean, tomato in and of itself, yeah, it's delicious. It's beautiful, right? If you take a nice ripe red tomato, but the next step is really connecting it to its creator, and from there staying with that connection, staying within the absolute, I don't want to say absolute realm, but like what is manifesting all these qualities. And then from there, then the contemplation can go further with the next stage, as you laid out, or the author is mentioning in the next paragraph here. It is to study and ponder over and wonder, because it's all speaking to us here and now, right now, from an absolute realm. The message is coming. And you're saying, think on how a material scientist or nutritionist would describe. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for sharing. Awesome.
Yeah, no, so they will list the nutritional facts of the tomato, and that's pretty much it. That, okay, this has this much vitamins, minerals, lycopenes, whatever and they can say, oh, it came from this farm or it's organic, but then doesn't go beyond the physical realm of existence. And the hidden treasures are just never discovered because there's no contemplation, right? It's just stating the facts, the information on the tomato, when there are, but the one who put these nutrition, the nourishment, and the color and the art and the design So relating it to the one, the all beauteous creator. Okay, yes, Brother Ali, please go ahead.
Have you seen a nutritionist talking about the beauty of the creatures, all the flowers, and vegetables, fruits, the design of their forms, saying that these are the nutritions for your spirit, for your need for beauty. They can't because they, as you said, they measure the nutrition value in it. They say there is then vitamin A, B, C, whatever, B12, P3, or D3, whatever they put it, the numbers, and that's it. Because they see themselves as body. So tomatoes' connection of human beings or this materialist being is nothing but more than nothing but body and tomatoes' body with their body, nothing more. So they don't really see the spiritual side of human beings and the spiritual side of tomato in the existence of tomato, all the qualities of the creator uh, by designing it perfectly, creating it, giving it a life, and arranging everything perfectly in it. But for a nutritionist or materialist science, tomato means the number of molecules. That's it. Some companions say, uh, our customers, clients are not the numbers, they are human beings. We respect their human qualities, they say, although whether it is right or wrong depends, questionable. But materialists look at the universe as numbers. How many atoms, how many molecules? Ridiculous. The last point that we have to mention here, uh, to yearn to ascend to the presence of the all-powerful maker. Now, I will go back to the previous example, school administrator. Now, he goes and checks what the maintenance department did, what teachers did, what, I don't know, builder's site did, what the cleaners did, all of them examines, and then takes its report and goes to the one who is responsible for the education system and says, look, you asked us to do all this, and I see that everything is done according to your requirement and presented to you. We did it, whatever we did, because you required us to do all this. That is what we performed in acknowledgement of your directions. It means you established the education system in this way. We obeyed it. We fulfilled it. Now I am not bringing all the officials working under me. I am coming to you in order to represent the rest of the officials, all the teachers or helpers or those people who are working in administrative bodies, all of them represented by the president to the go and present it to the presence of the chief executor of the education system. Like this, we look at the creation and go back to the creator and say, all of us are obeying you and everything in the school is done perfectly. Maybe by me, it is not being really appreciated as much. So please forgive me, but I am bringing all my understanding of the duties performed in the universe to you because it is the result of your will. They are just fulfilling your will here, everything, including myself. This is presenting Iyake. Only to you we worship, we obey. This beautiful understanding of communicating, coming from the universe, using our universal abilities, presenting our conclusions of our reflections, contemplations to the owner of the universe. Perfect relationship. In this way, the purpose of the universe will be executed, completed, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you, Brother Ali. Fariha, go ahead.
Thank you. It just makes me remember how nobody even looks at the beauty of anything like tomato or things. Like, where do we get colors from? Pretty much what's out there in the universe or what's created. And then here we are making comments. Oh my God, I love your dress. Such a nice color. And this is the society or civilization we live in. And unfortunately, we get into the flood of it. I'm like, okay, right, let me do a better job tomorrow. And, wear good colors again. And yeah, astaghfirullah, like we get lost with just, superficial appearance of things because we're not even admiring things we are interacting with on a daily basis, like food, fruits, vegetables. So really starting from there and then contemplating on it, getting to the source of existence of things. I think we're super lost in appearance, physical, material, bodily side of things. Hey, yeah, this is good. This provides nutrition. That's right. Like Brother Lee was saying, it gives you good vitamins. Like, yeah, that's our sad reality. And that was one point. Another point about the analogy of the teacher and this and the administration, school administration, reminds me of a show, like a cartoon that I grew up watching in France. It was about the human body, what goes on inside, and the way it was made was very nicely depicted. How tiny little cells are doing their duties, right? The blood heart is pumping, they're bringing oxygen and everything. So like in form of little like beings, right? Communicating with each other, interacting with each other. I mean, what's very fascinating. We don't even ponder over like even how we are functioning right now, like speaking, the ability to hear, and so on and so forth. But now that I think about that cartoon, there was one missing element. What is the source of existence of all of this? Like, who's employing, those little whatever's going on creatures to do their duties? So I think the analogy of the school administration reporting it to a higher stakeholder, should help us solve the case. And inshallah, may we live with this awareness that things are just not acting randomly on their own, but everything points to an absolute source of existence, and really contemplating on the existence and functioning of everything. So thank you.
Good point. Thank you. Good example about, yes. Right, thank you. So any other comment before we have a few minutes left? All right, so we'll go start the second aspect, see how far we can go in this. The second aspect is basically worships, supplication in his presence, and addressing him directly. So once the contemplation stage is over, the second aspect is this is the station of presence and address wherein man passes from the work to the producer of the work, right? And he sees that an all beauteous maker wants to make himself known and acquainted through the miracles of his art. And man responds with knowledge and belief. So this worship responding is basically by contemplating on the work, right? And passing from that work to the producer of the work. And this is more of a connection, communication with that all beauteous maker. Basically, through the work, he's making himself known and acquainted to me. So all what is existing in the universe is for me to realize that whoever is the producer, the artist wants to connect, make me connect with him so that I know who the owner, the Lord, the creator, the all beauteous one is. And I should act accordingly, respond back. And this also happens in stages. So if you can bear with me, or do you want to go maybe next time? We can go through the stages of how this communication happens, because time is up for now. But just to warm up a little bit, yes. So from the work, go to the producer of the work and connect with this maker and respond accordingly. So I will stop here. We will continue next time here, inshallah. All right, any final comments by anyone? All right, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma alamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. بحرمة سورة الفاتحة